Hello guys, this is Jackbot, and no fancy intro this time. Let's get into it. He's here. Boom. So today, on ReviewBot, we'll be reviewing, we just watched it, The Amazing Spider-Man!
I think this movie doesn't have enough love.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, seriously. Me personally, I saw this movie I only saw this movie twice before in my entire life. This is the third time I've watched it in my entire life.
well, actually, when this came out, when did this come out?
Yeah, when it came out, I watched it. Those are the two times I watched it.
It was
2012.
2012, yeah. So I did watch a lot when it came out on DVD, but ever since then, it's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And just
holy
today,
crap.
watching it today was it's, I think because
great.
it has a unique style that no other Spider-Man movie ever had after it.
Yeah, it was trying to be darker. It wasn't trying to be
and I think the characters,
movie.
all the characters are really good. I think they're more down to earth and kind of more realistic.
The majority of the conversations that people have are they
Legit.
They're real.
Yeah, they feel real.
They have
And
a lot
not
of effort put into making those seem realistic conversations about spider people.
Yeah, I mean
men.
the whole story of the lizard is actually pretty good because it makes sense what he wants to do. I mean, it's kind of dumb. The fact that it is.
And so I'm gonna link in the description a video, High Top Films video about Amazing Spider-Man, because it's really good, and he talks about a lot of the deleted scenes and because originally there was more development for the lizard and his turn into madness, but they cut it all out. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was still really good though in this movie. I think it was fine. But just could have been better. I mean,
when we first saw the lizard, in the trailer, I think they showed him in the trailer. I forgot, but I mean, it's
a long time.
It's a drastic change to the actual original design, but I mean,
yeah. Every time they had his lab cut off and they took it off, I was like, put it back on, please. It's kind of.
But I mean, as a character in the movie, he's really good. I mean, if you're really gonna look at the comics, maybe not, but for the movie sake, I think he was pretty good.
He looks like a believable lizard man.
Yeah.
So just keep the lab coat on.
It's not just a dinosaur head,
Yeah. Yeah, comic book version.
Yeah. But
All right, I think one of the things we gotta talk about, because everyone's gonna go crazy about this, costume.
Oh.
So, so we did the Raimi movies already. Links in the description of those. And that costume was very simple. It was very comic accurate. It was very simple, but it worked.
Yeah.
You got the webbing right. You got the eyes right. You got the symbol is fine. You got the colors, but this one is a little. No one really likes this suit. Everyone calls it the basketball suit.
Well, I think it's more realistic because he made it out of, reusable materials.
Yeah.
So.
I was I could figure out how to make this if I watched videos on how to paint my own clothing like he was doing. At the beginning of the movie, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot it's the basketball suit. It's gonna look stupid the whole time. The only problem actually that I have now with that suit is the yellow eyeballs. They looked a little weird. But other than that, it kind of grew on me over time.
If they had
it actually looks pretty good in my opinion.
It might have been a little better. But,
yeah. I'm pretty sure someone's done that in an edit or something. Probably.
Yeah. And
so it wasn't bad in my opinion this time around. First few times I saw it, I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just a more realistic approach. I mean, you just use sunglasses put on there, but I mean, it's not bad. Characters.
Oh yeah. All right.
We'll start with
Peter Parker in this
Parker.
movie. I actually, no one really likes because he's like more emo in this movie. It's kind of weird, and he's like skateboarding. It's like skateboarding through the hallway. He's kind of a jerk, but like I mean, that's pretty comic accurate to his origin because in the beginning he's like kind of a dweeb.
They're the only ones who've ever been kind to me. I'll see to it that they're always happy, but the rest of the world can go hang for all I care.
I think, like, if you watch it as a movie, if you've never read the comics, it's good. Like, he's a good character, like, for a Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if you're really, like, into the comics, maybe it is different. I mean, he's very punky. He's just punky Spider-Man.
I mean, well, then again, that's like his arc.
Yeah.
Like, throughout the movie.
Like, even, like, throughout the whole movie, like, he's got that certain quirk that the others didn't. But I like it, though. I mean, it's different, but it works. Like, it doesn't work.
He still feels like a classic Peter Parker type guy. So.
I mean, in the original, Raimi trilogy, it was completely comics.
Yeah,
So he was just a nerd. But, yeah, and here, I mean, overall, I liked him.
I mean, like most of the other things that we already talked about, it's more realistic in the way that he acts and like how nerdy he is, like how smart he is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was fine.
Then Gwen Stacy was, I think, really good. I mean,
crazy.
Like the Mary Jane in the Raimi trilogy, she's good. I mean, I liked her in there, but I think just in this movie, Gwen Stacy, she
killed
better.
it.
She's better because it's just more realistic and just down to earth, like just anyone else would be in real life.
I mean, I know they're saying that she's not in the next, she's not going to be in the live action Spider-Verse movie, but why is my question.
I don't know.
Unless she's lying.
Maybe.
But I really hope she's in that because she's probably one of the best characters in the whole movie.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah, it's more believable than the Raimi movies, because I feel like they're actually more believable as like 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds.
And definitely not like the Gwen Stacy and
Spider-Man 3. Is that Gwen?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's up there dying. There she is.
That was bad.
Dead.
But
I was done. There's the scene. Oh, the scene where Lizard fights Spider-Man in the school. That's great.
That's a great scene.
The Stan Lee cameo is probably one of the best Stan Lee cameos in any movie.
Yeah,
to be honest.
That's a good one.
But the part where he was like, "I'm gonna throw it out the window now," and then he catches it with the web, I was like, "This snaps neck." I'll make an edit right here.
I'm gonna throw you out the window now.
Her dad was very good too.
Yeah, like her dad was really good.
I mean, he comes in like later in the movie, but I mean, still pretty good.
Yeah, but I like that there's more than just like Uncle Ben and
Aunt May.
Aunt May.
Oh yeah, speaking of Aunt May in this movie, like
Aunt May. Well, see, here's the thing. Like, it's not just an old like Aunt May like in the comics. Like, I like how she's normal, like a normal aunt would be, not just
a normal person.
not just like just the cliche classic.
Oh, it's okay, Peter.
And I'm not saying she was bad in the Raimi trilogy, which she wasn't, but I really like this.
I mean, you can't go wrong with the classic, but
yeah. But she's really good. Like she's a good
really
actress too.
But I feel like she was a little like underused in this movie. Like most of the like heartfelt conversations came from Ben or Captain Stacy, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was still really good in this movie.
Yeah, and watching this again, Uncle Ben, like
oh man,
I really like
dude
this
that
character. Like when I watched it just today, like when he died, I was like, oh man, it's just like it's really impactful. Like especially, like
what's his name? What's the actor's name? Martin Sheen.
Maybe
I think that's his name.
But Like,
But he was like perfect.
just in that short amount of time he was in the movie, they gave him a big arc, and to see him die, I was like, whoa! Even though you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I really liked Uncle Ben in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he's
we were watching The West Wing in our government class, and he's the president of the United States in that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's the same. It's pretty much the same character. We got the lizard, obviously.
Kurt Connors, yeah, he's. I like him a lot too, actually. I mean, he's his plan is kind of dumb, but it makes sense why he wants to do it. I mean,
Senior
'cause
prank.
he's kinda,
You're a lizard now.
yeah. But you know, his whole arc is pretty good, actually.
Hmm.
I think they did that pretty well.
I like how they tied him in with Peter's parents,
Yeah, and
which
he's not just there.
yeah,
He's not just there, like
like he's actually.
connected
Like,
to
there's
the
a
whole
point.
family. Yeah.
So, I guess this whole movie, like all the taglines when you saw posters of it when it was coming out was like the untold story of Spider-Man, and I guess it was supposed to be like the story of his parents, but they don't really go into that in this movie.
Yeah,
This is just in the beginning, but
I think in the second one there was like something they went into,
in the second one it's really dumb, it's stupid.
but that's another.
That's one.
Another review coming up.
Yeah, we're doing that after.
The overall story is like, in all the Spider-Man movies, it's very unique in the way that
And it's very simple too.
It's simple but unique, just the way they do it.
Mhm.
Like that's what's special about this movie.
Yeah,
Actually.
everyone always talks about how good the relationship between Peter and Gwen is,
Yeah.
and that, I mean, I agree.
Yeah,
It's-
it is. It's
At
really good.
one point, I literally turned over to Brandon. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good!"
I know. I mean,
Oh,
it's
it
just,
was when they're on the balcony, and they're talking, and he's like, "I can't tell you. I gotta tell you," and he goes,
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my
Andrew
gosh,
Garfield
so
in here,
good.
his acting is really good. Like it really,
yeah."
it just brings out a teenage
Like,
guy.
he's very awkward, but he can be profound and he can be like wise also at certain
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah.
So he overall I think he's a good, he was good in this movie.
Yeah, and people could argue that he's not the Peter Parker I knew when I read
Yeah.
comics. They definitely carried that
Turns
on
more
more in here than they did like with the other movies. Like,
Yeah.
they just carried it on more, and it's gonna continue to the next movie where he's not as
Yeah,
punky.
he's more, Spider-Man.
Yeah, which he is in the next one, but
Oh, so again, Head Top Films video. He talks about how he talks about one specific scene. He's like, "Which scene do you think he actually becomes Spider-Man?" And I would say it's the bridge. It's the bridge scene. 'Cause
yeah,
I still think that the bridge scene is like the best scene in the movie.
that's
in my opinion.
the scene with the kid.
Yeah.
He said put the mask on, and that was really good.
Super
Like
good.
just scenes like that, like it's just like you don't have that feeling with
Right.
any other Spider-Man movies.
And I feel like that's his arc, like from being less of a jerk, because now he's, he actually says he's Spider-Man. He's actually helping people just to help people instead of trying to find his uncle's murderer,
Yeah.
which he doesn't do. He fails
Mm-hmm.
again.
Yeah. And I think like just that scene alone, even with Ben Parker, Uncle Ben, that scene with Ben Parker, his death, and that scene with the kid, like those combined, like are so good because
Yeah.
you don't get those in the other Spider-Man movies like at all. It's just the charm of this movie. Is,
One thing I was thinking of this whole time was, in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, they don't really give they do give some time to just the characters, like talking like normal
Dialogue.
people, but that stuff in this movie is just as entertaining as the action scenes and stuff. Like
It
it was
is.
really good.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the Tom Holland movies, they don't really give enough time to just talk and do stuff
that's
like
true.
real life.
Yeah, I think that. Well, that's for another conversation.
Yeah.
Um,
We're probably gonna watch those after.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. What else?
I can't really think of anything else to say. Okay, so there was two things I was telling Brian about that was kind of weird in this movie.
Oh.
One was at the end. So at the end, Gwen Stacy's dad dies, and he says, "You gotta protect my daughter, so you can't see her anymore," which is understandable. I mean, because he's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the classic Spider-Man problem. It's
Yeah.
like, how do I have a girlfriend if she gets in danger all the time? But at the end he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna keep my promise. But like a scene beforehand, like the scene right before that one, him and Gwen are talking to each other. Gwen comes over to his house and they're talking and he has to tell her that he can't see her anymore. And I almost started crying. It was again, this movie is real. This movie is real. Unlike the Tom Holland movies.
I mean, don't get me wrong; those are good, but
Yeah,
this just
yeah.
has a charm to it that no other Spider-Man movie has
But so
had.
after he tells her that you can't see her anymore, he doubles back immediately, and then Gwen is like, "Oh, that's cool. That doesn't make any sense to me." So that was just one thing.
And then today, this is like his third time watching this. He's never seen the end credits.
I never knew there was an end
But
credit
it's,
scene.
it's like right after the first roll of credits.
No. But I mean, it's just random.
I remember when I first
I
saw
have no idea what I watched it for the first time. I have no idea what it was.
when I first saw it,
supposed to be.
like before any other movie came out of this, I thought it was Electro because the way he came in with the lightning
Mhm.
and he kind of vanished away, which
Yeah, I was thinking
I mean,
it was either supposed to be Electro or supposed to be like, what's his name, Norman Osborn. But I mean, that wouldn't really make any sense because how would he disappear like that? Maybe it's just weird. But I mean, those are the only two people that I can think of, unless it's a new character.
yeah,
that they
and-
just kind of
and
dropped.
They never really went on with that at all, because my phone's ringing. I don't think he's in the second one. That guy, like,
I remember
was there something?
when he, you know, that guy in the second one who walks through all the Sinister Six gear?
That is him.
It might be him
That is him.
because he's wearing the fedora.
Yeah, but
But
I still don't know who he
is.
is.
He's Larry, the creepy guy.
And another thing, they never went on with that. scene
Yes.
either, but anyways,
Kind of sad actually.
could continue into
I mean,
the
honestly,
next.
it would have
movie.
been cool if we could have seen this story like finished.
the third.
But
movie, yeah.
too bad the second one sucked so much. Which we'll get into
We'll get
that.
into that, yeah.
Next time. Actually, not next time, but sometime
Mhm.
along the road.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can understand why people don't
Yeah.
love this movie because it is just different. I mean,
But I really liked it.
But as a movie, like if you're just watching it, like, and you kind of like superheroes, but it has such a grounded story that you can just really like.
I think I'm gonna say. So you all know how I like Spider-Man 3. Or if you don't, you can watch the video. But you all know how I like that, and it's not like my favorite Spider-Man movie, but it's definitely really. I mean, I like it a lot, but I think this movie is better than Spider-Man 3, and I actually like it better than the first Raimi film. And maybe also Homecoming.
Yeah, well,
And that's just me. That's me. But yeah, I think we've like, what more can we say about this? Like I personally can't think of anything else to say. It's just really
yeah, I
good.
mean, me neither.
All right, so what is your final verdict?
Well, out of 10, probably gonna have to give this movie as a standalone film, a 9 out of 10.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Cause okay, so I know we didn't talk about the second one that much, but it's kind of unfair to talk about this movie and that at the same time, because they're completely different, and one of them's really bad, and one of them's not as bad. But I mean, not even compared to the second movie, just by itself, this movie is definitely 9 out of 10. I would say.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just as a movie, it's really good. Like, the characters are really good.
Mm-hmm.
The bonds the characters have are, like, amazing. That's what makes the movie, like, way more special than some of the other Spider-Man movies, yeah. So.
Yeah, like the relationships in the Raimi films, like, pretty good. The relationships in these movies, in this movie, they're good.
They're a little
they're great.
Bland in the Raimi trilogy a little bit.
And then
some
in
points,
the Tom Holland movies, I was about to say trilogy, but the third one isn't out yet.
Yeah.
They're kind of forced. Like there's no.
I mean,
Well,
they're
well,
still.
well,
they're,
I'm not gonna
They're still
talk
good,
about
but yeah.
We can talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 9 out of 10. Put your thoughts, what you thought about this movie, if you watched it recently, or if you didn't, in the comments. And, you know, subscribe and like and notifications and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, great film. Can't wait to watch the second one. Can't wait to see what the second one will have in store.
Although the soundtrack is pretty.
Oh, I forgot to talk about
Pretty amazing.
the soundtrack for this movie and the second movie are amazing.
They are really good.
The electro stuff in the second. Okay.
Well, this movie, the soundtrack is really good.
Yeah, it's great.
His theme is like it fits his character, like just the theme.
It's great.
So that's yeah.
But anyways, do all those things that I mentioned, and I will see you guys in the next video. Farewell.